Hi, this is Josie Diaz, and I'm going to speak a little about current research into children exposed to domestic violence. So, Domestic Violence Services has provided some statistics which show that children exposed to domestic violence are 6 times more likely to commit suicide, 74% more likely to commit a violent crime against another person, and 3 times more likely to continue the cycle of violence. Um, Studies by Muehlek and Tronick regarding the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system show that there is an effect of domestic violence on these portions of the brain, which release adrenaline and noradrenaline. Um, Consider it more like the fight or flight response. So when you're at a heightened state of awareness, when you're scared, when you're ready to get up and run, you're there until you're actually calmed down and those feelings of safety come in. But for a child or an infant, it's really hard for them to understand that they can calm themselves down. So they're at that heightened state all the time, which leaves them at a high level of stress, which in turn can cause damage to their nervous system and kind of weakens their immune system as well. Now, Waltham and Macmillan did studies on interventions for children affected by domestic violence. And what they found was prevention to be the best intervention. Unfortunately, by the time many of these children or many of the domestic violence comes to light, prevention is long past being a possibility. What they did find was that child-parent psychotherapy, especially within the mother preschool or dyad, has been really effective. 6-month follow-ups show that they are continuing on a forward trajectory. What I find really terrible about what I just said is that I talked about the parent and the toddler relationship. It is really sad to think that a toddler has to receive psychotherapy or trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, which is another effective intervention that they found. In TFCBT, they would use enhanced parenting and client-centered therapy in order to help the child. Osselman found that interventions that prioritize the support and strength of the non-offending parent is actually a key factor in helping the children to heal from the exposure to domestic violence. DeVellis and Zisk found that resilience is actually easier for children who have come from a low social economic background, and with resilience not being a common outcome of children who have been exposed to domestic violence. They also suggest that further neurological studies be done in order to understand the effects on the brain, what's going on there, and to come up with more effective strategies to address the needs or the trauma experienced by these children. Teacher and Sampson actually did do research on neurobiological effects on the brain, and what they found kind of confirmed what we were talking about earlier with the fight or flight response, and that the adaptive and that there are physical and biological effects, negative effects from this adaptive survival fight or flight response in children. Thank you.